Russia hits Ukraine with another wave of deadly airstrikes, this time using drones, what Ukraine's president says he needs to fend off Russian aggression. And another Badger football player is leaving the team. We'll tell you who's been added to the transfer portal. This is News 3 Now at noon. A few flurries out there, sunshine. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese is standing by with our Monday forecast. A little brisk out there.
Just a little bit. Yeah, if you walk outside, your hat might blow right on off of you because those winds have been pretty strong out there this afternoon. Here's what we're looking at right now. This is our station tower camera. It may be a little tough for you to see at home, but we do have some snowflakes flying here on the west side, a little thin, a couple of thin snowflakes downtown as well. The temperature coming in at 36. The wind chill 26. We have not seen a lot of movement in temperatures at all today. We've been paying attention to radar pretty much all morning long. You've seen that burst of snow that's come down. We've also had winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories across parts of northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. This is also where they're expecting 10 to 20 inches of some snow. So they've been getting hammered, but that same moisture coming across Lake Superior into the UP has been what's responsible for sending the snowflakes down that we have seen so far. Of course, we'll continue to track this as we go throughout the show, and we'll time out when we could see a warm-up. That's all coming up in just a bit, Mark.
No 10 to 20 inches, though.
No 10 to 20 inches, not here.
Okay, Chris, thank you. We'll check back in a few minutes. A Sun Prairie apartment building was evacuated over the weekend because of a gas leak. Crews were called to the four-story building in the 600 block of West Main Street just before 11:30 last night. Elevated gas readings were found throughout the building. About 100 people and numerous pets were evacuated as crews worked to contain the leak. After the building was ventilated, residents returned to their homes. No injuries to report. We're learning new details about the suspect who sexually assaulted a woman in downtown Madison last month. The incident happened near North Bassett and West Mifflin Streets on September 27th. Police say the victim was walking when a man groped her. The suspect ran into his car and then drove off after the woman screamed. Police released new details saying the man was driving a blue four-door sedan with a sunroof. He's described as 5'8", heavy-set Latino man in his early to mid-20s. Anyone with information about the man's identity asked to call Madison area Crime Stoppers. A manhunt in Central California is finally over. Police have arrested a man suspected of 5 serial killings since July. Officers believe they stopped the 43-year-old suspect as he was preparing to kill again. They say he was driving around the Stockton area with a gun, dressed all in black with a mask around his neck. The man suspected of killing 5 men in ambush shootings. Kevin Spacey's attorney says the actor will testify in his sexual misconduct trial. There's no word yet on when Spacey will take the stand. Fellow actor Anthony Rapp has accused Spacey of assaulting him in the 1980s when Rapp was 14 years old. Rapp first went public with his allegations against Spacey in 2017. Shortly after, Spacey tweeted a statement saying he was, quote, beyond horrified to hear his story, but that he didn't remember the alleged incident. Russia is once again targeting Ukraine's capital city. The latest deadly attacks include increased use of drones, which U.S. officials say are coming from Iran. Ukraine says the Russians have stepped up attacks with suicide drones, which explode on impact. The strikes are once again targeting civilians. Payback, many believe, for Ukraine blowing up a key bridge in territory occupied by Russia. Ukraine's president says the country is most in need of air defense systems, which he believes will halt Russian air attacks. Habitat of Dane County is offering up a free and inspirational breakfast this week. It's happening tomorrow morning at Monona Terrace. Registration and optional networking starts at 7:30 in the morning. Breakfast starts at 8. Habitat has built more than 300 homes in Dane County, providing affordable housing for families. News 3 Now's Chris Stanford will MC the event. You can register ahead of time today at habitat-dane.org. Another Badger football player is entering the transfer portal. Wide receiver Marcus Allen announced he'll be leaving the program. This comes after the Badgers lost to Michigan State Saturday. Allen had 7 catches for 91 yards and 1 touchdown for the Badgers. And today, Stephen Bracey, another wide receiver, announced he's also entering the transfer portal. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon, including 2 of the nation's largest grocery store chains announcing a multi-billion-dollar merger. Plus, a popular toy retailer returns just in time for the holidays. That's next. in the Money Watch Report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
If your home has a garage, chances are the floor is stained, dusty, even cracked in places. But Mad City Home Improvement can transform your garage in as little as 1 day. Introducing Renuity Advanced Floor Coatings. Get a showroom quality appearance that protects against oil, moisture, and chemical damage. Plus, our garage storage systems will keep your space organized. Now take advantage of our introductory offer. Receive 33% off installation of Renuity Advanced Floor Coatings with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Senior military discounts. Receive $1,000 off a garage storage system. And call during this program for a free wall organizer with your floor coating purchase. Throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-888-8537. That's 608-888-8537.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Habitat families build their own homes alongside volunteers, pay an affordable mortgage, and are grateful for your help. With safe and permanent housing, Dane County families can invest more in their health, education, community, and beyond. Please donate or volunteer today.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
It's dangerous up here, and it's no fun shopping around for a reputable contractor.
I've built my company on the promise to treat our customers like we would our own family. That means an honest, no-pressure sales experience, expert craftsmanship, and a lifetime guarantee of our work.
We know Gutter Shutter is the best system for you and your home, and we'd love to show you how it can keep you safe and off that ladder forever. So call us or visit us online to set up your free estimate, and we can show you what Gutter Shutter and the Larson Home Experience is all about.
White House economic advisor Cecilia Rouse told CNN Sunday there are signs the Federal Reserve's actions to tackle inflation are starting to take effect. It comes just days after a Labor Department report showed inflation is still stubbornly high at 8.2% in September compared to a year ago. The White House's comments were in stark contrast to those of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who told NBC's Meet the Press the Fed's actions are hurting the situation. The U.S. Central Bank has raised interest rates 5 times this year, with even more rate hikes expected. 2 of the nation's largest grocery store chains, Kroger and Albertsons, have announced a nearly $25 billion deal to merge. Together, the companies will have more than 710,000 workers and operate nearly 5,000 stores. The deal is likely to face scrutiny from U.S. antitrust enforcers. And just in time for the holidays, Toys R Us shops have officially opened in select Macy's locations across the country. Macy's is celebrating with 9 days of family activities and giveaways. The expansion of Toys R Us shops was first announced back in July. The popular decades-old toy retailer had closed all of its brick-and-mortar locations back in 2018 after the company declared bankruptcy. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Elise Preston.
Let's check Wall Street afternoon hour. The Dow Industrials up 554 points. The NASDAQ up 348. The S&P 500 up 95. Inflation, soaring mortgage rates, and record high prices are making it extremely difficult for many Americans to buy a home. Housing affordability is down 29% from a year ago. Consistent Fed rate hikes are also putting pressure on the real estate market. Nationwide home prices soared 43% in 2 years, but now in cities that have had those massive spikes, prices are being slashed. The fastest cooling markets are Seattle, Las Vegas, San Jose, San Diego, Sacramento, and Denver. Holding strong are Chicago, Albany, and Milwaukee.
A year ago, people are buying homes sight unseen, multiple offers. It's a good time to put an offer on a house at a lower number.
Experts say despite the price cuts, the average monthly mortgage payment is still higher than if you bought a home at the peak of the market. But if the rate drops, you can always refinance to ease the pain. Walmart is selling over-the-counter hearing aids for the first time in company history. These devices can be purchased without a medical exam by a doctor or a prescription. Officials say they'll be available to U.S. shoppers who are at least 18 years old with perceived audio issues. The aids cost between $199 to $999 per pair. Still ahead, we'll have today's egg prices along with Krista and this week's forecast. And then today on Live at 4, a competitive pumpkin grower in Wisconsin is boasting the biggest pumpkin in the state. Find out how much this gargantuan gourd weighs at 4.
Convert your garage from a place you just park your car into a beautiful and organized extension of your home with Renuity Advanced Floor Coatings plus garage storage systems from Mad City Home Improvement.
Open the door and you feel like you're not even in a garage. Whether there's a car in there or not, you feel like you're part of your house.
Transform your garage in as little as 1 day, back with a lifetime guarantee and our product and labor warranty. Plus, now during our introductory offer, receive 33% off installation with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Senior military discounts receive $1,000 off a garage storage system. And call during this program for a free wall organizer with your floor coating purchase. Throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-888-8537. That's 608-888-8537.
A 12-year-old girl can't legally drive a car. At 12, she can't even vote. But if this little girl were tragically raped or a victim of incest and became pregnant, Radical Tim Michaels would force her to deliver the baby. He said it's, quote, not unreasonable for the state government to mandate rape victims to give birth. Would it be unreasonable if he were forcing this on you? Let him know on Election Day.
Don't like paying taxes? Neither does Mandela Barnes. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes he owed. Barnes failed to pay his taxes, but he wants you to pay more. He supported raising Wisconsin's gas tax nearly 30%, even though we already pay some of the highest gas taxes in the country. And he supported a $1 billion tax increase on Wisconsin families and an income tax as high as 70%. Mandela Barnes, another tax-raising, hypocritical politician. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This feels like destiny, child. Miss Kelly Rowland! Can you do an impression of another musician? I can't get it. I'm gonna get the giggles.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Time's running out. Do you have your Fright Night costume assembled?
Tuesday, we're in the 608 to give you some ghoulish ideas that won't break the bank.
Plus, we're getting rid of some of this cold. Warmer temperatures are on the way. We're breaking it down tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Well, Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is wrapping up her vacation and recovering from yesterday's Packer loss. She might be back tomorrow. Who knows? Here are your farm numbers. Let's check back now with Chris and a complete look at the forecast.
Hey, one thing I want to show you guys, these are the averages for when we typically would see our first snows around here. Now, first trace this year was actually back Thursday last week, so that was October 13th, but even today's date will be normal for seeing some snowflakes around here. But your measurable snow, your first inch, we're still about 3 to 6 weeks away from those. So we have some time before we really start talking about that kind of snow. But still, yeah, we've seen some snowflakes fly today. 38's the temperature now. The wind chill is 30, so we've seen the temperatures come up a bit now. But winds are still gusty out there, keeping it a little cooler. Janesville, you've been at 37 since about 3 o'clock this morning. The temperature has not budged. 43 for Lone Rock, 40 in Boscobel. Those have been the only spots in southern Wisconsin to make it to the 40s at all so far today. And then right here in Dane County, we're all hanging out into those middle or upper 30s, just depending on where you are. Still some snow showers are moving through the county this it's afternoon now. Still seeing some snow showers move through the county at this point. And we're also starting to see where some sleet or rain begins to mix in as those temperatures begin to warm up. You zoom out just a bit and you see most of the activity that we've seen to the north starting to die down just a bit. And the overall core, the center of circulation, that's now farther to the east. But we'll continue to watch these flurries, and we may not be completely done with them. There could be a couple more flurries that move through as we go into the evening before we are all said and done. Again, warm enough for a few more raindrops to start to mix in at this point, but as we get even towards, say, 5 o'clock, 6, another little batch of some flurries may move through before we completely begin to taper things off overnight tonight. Trying to clear out. Overnight lows go down into the 20s. So let's focus in on Dane County. This is the Madison Metro. 2 o'clock, we're dry at the moment. 6 to 7, again, that's when we could see some additional flurries move through. And just like what we've seen so far today, it is all flurries. Keep that in mind. So while visibility may come down briefly, just a little bit, if you're out driving during this time, look at temperatures. Roads are going to be just fine. We'll clear out overnight. Look for your lows in the 20s, a little bit of cloud cover, and then we'll start to clear things out. A slower warm up tomorrow. Lunchtime temperatures still into the upper 30s, right around 40. Then into the afternoon, we'll top out into the mid 40s for your highs on Tuesday. That is a part of a warming trend. It gets better for us. After we get through the weekend, or the week, once we move into the weekend, we begin to see warmer air moving our way, and this, friends, is why you begin to see warmth in that extended forecast. 52 on Thursday, back into the 60s on Friday, dancing with 70 as we get towards Saturday and Sunday. We haven't married it yet, but we're dancing with it. Then as we start to move into the following week, we do see more chances for some showers to join the picture with temperatures into the 60s and 50s.
Looking forward to this weekend.
Everyone has said that so far. I can't figure out why everyone says that.
You'll get your winter in due time. Thanks, Chris. Howard's in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen now doing his best imitation of Julia Child.
A few weeks ago, I was watching some vintage clips of Julia Child on YouTube, and I couldn't help but think how ahead of her time she was. The episode that stuck in my head was when she made beef bourguignon, which is basically a rich beef stew accented with red wine. So the other day, I made my version of it, and now I want to share it with you. We begin by cutting some beef chuck into cubes. Then we add it to a bowl and season it with a bit of pepper and thyme before browning it in a large pot. Once it's browned, we add some beef broth, red wine, and a bit of garlic. We cover it and let it simmer. After this cooks for a bit, we'll toss in some chunks of carrot, potato, onions, and mushrooms, and let those cook until they're tender. All that's left to do is thicken up the sauce, and it's ready to serve. It's so basic, yet sounds so fancy. As for the taste, the sauce is so rich, the meat is crazy tender, and the vegetables bring the whole dish together. To get the recipe for what Julia called beef bourguignon with her one-of-a-kind accent, or to most of us, simply beef bourguignon, just go to our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a Julia Child-inspired way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Lisa Briggs is not amused. She is standing by taking your plant calls at 608-270-9933. We'll get to your calls right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Mad City Home Improvement is now transforming garages throughout Madison and South Central Wisconsin. Introducing Renewity Advanced Floor Coatings, the brand new floor coating. Installed in as little as 1 day. See the before and now the after, with lots of colors and a weatherproof finish. It's also great for patios, decks, and pool areas. Easy to clean and back with a lifetime warranty. Don't miss out on our introductory offer. Receive 33% off installation of Renewity Advanced Floor Coatings with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Plus, keep your garage organized. Receive $1,000 off a garage storage system. Last chance to call in during this program for a free wall organizer with your floor coating purchase. Throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-888-8537. That's 608-888-8537.
Reducing prison populations is now sexy. Reducing prison populations is now sexy.
Sexy? Mandela Barnes's administration has released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists. That's not sexy. It's terrifying. And as a mother, I don't want Mandela Barnes anywhere near the Senate. From defunding our police to releasing predators, Mandela Barnes is a threat to Wisconsin families.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here taking your calls at 608-270-9933. You brought a Christmas tree. No,
it's a cypress. We do get these in because people use them for little indoor holiday things, but see, we just threw a gourd in there and now it's just a cute plant because it's kind of gray and it was snowing when I was driving in today.
So it's a house plant?
It's a house plant, yes. But it's cute though. I like the color. It's nice and bright.
Yep. Brighten up the house.
There you go.
All right.
That's what you need on a gloomy day.
Let's go to the phones. We'll start with Dorothy in Richland Center. Hi, Dorothy. What's your question?
I want to know when we should be thinking about putting the rose cones on the rose bushes.
Okay, Dorothy, you want to wait until the ground is frozen, so we're talking about probably end of November, after Thanksgiving. Keep them handy. Make sure, though, that you have them vented, and that if we get some really nice days, because sometimes that happens in December, take them off for the day so they don't heat up underneath.
Okay. Go to Junior now in Rock Springs. Hi, Junior. What's your question?
I would like to know the best time to fertilize my asparagus and what analysis should I use.
So you just want to use something that is good for root development or a broad spectrum, so where all three of those numbers are the same. If you're going to do something like manure or compost, you could go ahead and put that on now. But if you're going to wait for till spring, then I would use just an organic granular fertilizer like Espoma makes a really good one called Garden Tone. It would be great.
Okay. Good luck. Go to Patty now in Madison. Patty?
Hi. We have 2 dead arborvitaes that we would like to replace. Is it okay to replace arborvitaes now in the fall?
It's a little tricky with evergreens in general and arborvitae in particular. They need a lot of moisture to establish, and it's a little late. So I would wait until spring.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for the call. Alexandra in Madison. Hi, what's your question?
Hi, good afternoon. I have a pink geranium that I purchased in the spring of 2021 and brought it in last fall, kept it watered, west window, and to guarantee its survival, I was wondering if I should do new potting soil, cut it back, etc. Appreciate your help.
So this is an annual geranium?
Yes,
So you're probably, I would put it in the sunniest window that you have. I wouldn't necessarily repot it at this time. It's not a great time to do it. You might find, though, that you're going to get some leaf loss, and you might find that you need to cut it back a little bit, probably after the first of the year. And then any fertilizer you want to wait until, I would say, 1st of March.
Okay, thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Good luck. Let's go to Dave in Columbus. Hi, Dave.
Hey.
Hi, which question?
I was wondering what the best time is to trim your asparagus back, and can you use Roundup before the asparagus comes out in the spring?
No, asparagus, Roundup will kill anything, whether it's broadleaf or a grass. So don't use Roundup. There are a couple of grass killers that are selective for grass that you can put on the spring on your patch, and you'd want to use those. I wouldn't use them now, though. Mostly those are annual grasses in your asparagus bed. As far as cutting them back, once that needly foliage starts to yellow, you can cut them back then.
Okay. All right, let's go to Linda from Antigo. Hi, Linda.
Hi. Is pumpkin a fruit or a vegetable?
So we're talking botanically. I would say, I don't know for sure. I think they'd be classified as a fruit, though.
Because they're on a vine.
Well, because they have seeds inside and you actually eat the thing.
Okay.
I think that's what makes it botanically a fruit versus a veg.
Like a tomato's a fruit.
Yes, technically, but they made it a veg. The USDA did something about taxes back in the 20s.
Well, they made ketchup
They made ketchup a vegetable, too. I remember that.
So what should we do around the yard right now?
What should you be doing around the yard right now? You could certainly be cutting back perennials. If you had perennials with any disease issues, I would get that stuff out of there. Don't compost it. Put it out in the brush pickup. You can rake leaves from your lawn, but leave them in your perennial beds.
Oh, okay.
And as far as pruning is concerned, there is nothing I would be pruning right now unless there's a hazard.
And no fertilizer?
No, I think it's a little late. Even for like lawn fertilizer, it's a little late for that. But you could put compost down in your veg bed. You know, if you have a vegetable garden, you could put down straw or compost and put black plastic over it. And
plant
then
bulbs?
Cook it. Planting bulbs. Oh, definitely. I forgot all about that. Yes. Now that we've had cold weather and snow, go ahead and get those bulbs in the ground. I have a pile of them at home. I think Harvey may be busy this weekend.
All right, we're out of time for now. Thank you all for calling. Thanks, Lise.
Thank you.
Here's Chris with one final check of the forecast.
We still see some snow showers out there. That'll continue for the rest of this afternoon, but we're getting rid of that as we move towards the evening. Temperatures top out at 39. 45 tomorrow, 60s by the weekend. Close to 70 Saturday and Sunday. But we will see some rain chances joining the picture with another cold front early next week. That'll lead to another drop in temperatures by Wednesday. Every time.
It's a little cooler every time the front goes through.
Every single time.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you all for watching. We will see. Oh, if you're on the line, you want to talk to Lisa, stay there. She'll talk to you off the air. And we'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.